Hi, I'm Brian Hernandez, and you're listening to the Chef's Corner, where we sit down with chefs and pizzaiolos from around the world and talk about business, life, and pizza. Hello and welcome to the Chef's Corner. I'm your host, Brian Hernandez, and today I get to sit down and corner my good friend Bradley Corbin, United States Pizza team member, owner of Sloopy Sports Café in Lakeside, Ohio. How are you doing today, Brad?
I'm well. How are you?
Very good. It's just an honor to be able to do one of these live on location at your place. So, as you can see, he's made one of his award-winning pizzas, the Korean beef. So basically, we just kind of get started at the very beginning. Why'd you steal my hairdo and my look? I mean, no, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Basically, we're just going to start at the beginning, try to find out a little bit more about Brad, and see what makes him tick. So the beginning is the beginning. What is your very earliest first pizza memory?
My first pizza memory was, I didn't grow up in a pizzeria, and I guess my first pizza memory would be that it brought our family together. Like, we had a weekly pizza night, and that's what, we knew we had pizza night, and that's my earliest pizza memory, is just coming together as a family, and that's what pizza does. It brings people together.
They said you weren't from a pizza family. Did you guys make your pizzas at home, or did you guys order in? But it was just the...
Mostly ordered in. I mean, every once in a while we made some at home, but, my mom did the cooking then, and now we do the cooking.
Right. So it was mainly just about everybody getting together and having pizza.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you said you didn't start in a pizza family, so how did you get into this business then?
I started when I was 19. I was a broke college kid, and I started as a dishwasher and delivery driver. Started making good money, graduated from school. I went into a flooded IT field and kept working in the pizza industry because it was good money. And at the time, I told the previous owner, I said, if there's ever an opportunity for me to buy in, I'd love to buy, what we have here. And, it took about 6 to 8 months before we got going, and we finally got a deal sealed and were able to take over.
So you started at this pizzeria. That was your only pizza job ever?
This is my only pizza job ever.
Wow, okay. And you've parlayed it into numerous awards and competition wins, and one of the go-to stops in Lakeside, Ohio. Once you're off the lake from tubing and fishing or whatever people do on the water, come get some pizza. All right, well, this is just about chefs and pizza makers and cooks and all that stuff, and so we always have to deal with flavors. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk with you, is because watching you compete since 2012, I think the first competition I saw you compete at with a hibachi pizza. Right?
That's correct.
Very unique flavors and something to put on a pizza. I'd never thought of it. So I wanted to talk with you because I know you think outside the box. So let's just start with, what's your favorite ingredient to play with? What's one that you just absolutely love, if that's the only one you could use?
My favorite ingredient, honestly, like, I compete with with toppings and pizzas that have 14, 15 numerous toppings on them, seasoned different ways, use it a couple different ways. However, my favorite pizza is just a plain cheese pizza. I like a good, fresh mozzarella or whole milk mozzarella. And my favorite pizza is a margarita, and I just love simple when I'm consuming it.
Yeah, that's like, seeing Mickey Mouse at Disneyland take off his costume and realize it's a college kid.
Right.
It's like, really, I would think it would have been something very unique, but it's cheese.
Just cheese.
All right.
Good cheese pizza.
All right, well, on the other side of that coin then, what is one ingredient you absolutely hate that you'll never use? If your employee shows up and it's in his lunch, he's fired or unfriended on Facebook.
We actually have them on our menu, but anchovies or pineapple. I'm not a big pineapple on pizza fan, but a lot of people love it, so we sell it.
Yeah.
But I'm not a big anchovy fan.
Okay. Well, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you don't have to like it, but if it's going to make you money, you should do it. Definitely. Regardless of your values or your stances on it, your morals. We're in here to make money too. So you got to pay the bills. So, but anchovies,
no go.
Now, is it because it's fish, or is it just because of the anchovies flavor?
I love fish. It's just anchovies that we get in America are terrible.
Okay.
In Italy, they're great.
All right. I get that. It's maybe a little closer to where they come from. Right. I don't know. I don't know where they live. So, so what's one ingredient that you don't use now, but it's something that you're kind of toying with an idea of making a pie with, or something that maybe you can't source but you really want to play with?
I mean, it's not like super popular in the Midwest. It's becoming, it kind of starts in the West Coast and comes our way, but probably truffles.
Oh, yeah.
It's a universal ingredient. It goes a long way, but we don't really play with it here. But I'd really like to start doing something with it soon.
I think people would embrace it.
I hope so. They've embraced our crazy ideas and crazy pizzas that we make now. So
Right.
hopefully we can break that barrier in the Midwest.
All right. Well, as I mentioned before, we're in Lakeside, Ohio. We're on what lake are we on?
Lake Erie.
Lake Erie. All right. So it's pretty much a seasonal destination town, right?
A little bit. About 16 weeks a year we're jamming.
Okay. What kind of difficulties do you have? Because how long has Sloopy's been around, or how long have you owned Sloopy's here?
I've owned Sloopy since 2010. It's been around since 1995.
Okay. So since 2010 and the 9 years you've had it, what are some of the hurdles of having a seasonal establishment, something that's really dependent on a particular season?
It's mainly about being able to survive in a year-round place. I mean, our lease is set up to where we're in business 12 months a year, but we only make our bread and butter for those 16 weeks that we're busy. So probably the biggest hurdle is, saving money and, not spending it when your pockets are fat. You got to plan for winter, and kind of like a squirrel, you got to put those nuts away for winter so you can get through.
So do you have to cut down on your staffing too? I mean, do the employees understand that they might just be a seasonal staffer?
We're actually beneficial to the high school and college environment where, our staff comes back for the summer or in the spring, and they're able to work all summer. They go back in the fall, and we have a little shoulder season where we keep a few year-round employees, but, we kind of tap the college and high school market, and, they come with the season. So
Yeah.
they're here for the busy season. They go back. So fortunately, in that aspect, we're okay with that. And we sprinkle in a little bit of full-time people that we keep year-round.
So yeah, it's very just symbiotic almost. It seems like the flow goes with the actual season. So,
Definitely.
all right. If there's one tip that maybe you didn't, one tip you can give somebody about seasonal shops that you didn't know at first, it took you a minute to figure out, or you completely ignored and kind of bit you in the butt at first. One thing that you would tell them to just keep an eye out for right away.
I guess it would have to be make sure your lease is structured in a proper manner so that you're set up to make money. There's different aspects of that. You can pay all your rent in the summertime if you're going to stay open year round. But you gotta, if you're going to close, you got to make sure you have enough money to reopen in this next, when the start of the season comes. But make sure you get a lease structure set up that's beneficial for business, where you can pay a bulk of it in the summer and a little bit, or percentage of sales or something like that, makes the landlord happy, but also makes your bank account happy.
Something like pay a higher rent in the busier times and lower rent in the off seasons.
Yeah.
Do you think you find maybe a lot of landlords? Would you think a lot of landlords would be amenable to something like that, sitting down and working out a kind of a pay structure like that?
There's some flexible ones. There's some not so flexible ones. But in my years of business, we've always been able to negotiate that, and it's what you bring to the table and what they're able to make off of you in the summertime too.
Okay. Well, let me jump over real quick to your crazy pies. And you admit they're crazy.
They are crazy.
Okay. So we're up in the Midwest. Very meat and potatoes. I don't want to say closed-minded, but we know what we like from the Midwest, and that's what we like. Has it been hard to kind of train your customers that these are good? When you come up with a crazy pie, first off, how do you get it on the menu? Do you make it in the kitchen and then test it on the customers?
It's a little bit of both. We usually will design a pizza for a new competition that we go to.
Okay.
We compete annually in Columbus. We've been to Vegas a few times. There's other competitions around the country that we've made it to. We tried to design a new pizza for a competition, so we're not using the same one over and over. Mm-hmm. But the best way to get it in our customers and get their mind to say, man, I really want to try that, is just put it in their mouth. We'll make a big one, we'll cut it into small pieces and give out free samples when the dining room fills up. Say, hey, here, try our hibachi pizza or our Korean beef. Tell us what you think. does it wow you, or are you just kind of like meh? But we really go for the wow factor. We want you to get a new flavor in each bite. We want you to hit all the abilities of your palate. The sweet, the savory, the spicy.
Right.
Sometimes sour. We hit everything.
Okay.
That's what we strive for. We strive to do things that are outside the box, but I don't want to do pizzas that are like every other place you could go to. I don't want to drive down the street and, we have pepperoni, we have an all meat, we have an all veggie, but we put fresh fruit on pizzas. We put fried rice and different, Asian flavors, Mexican flavors. We really strive to be the place that says, I'm going to do everything that the person down the street isn't doing.
Right. So you said that you usually come up with recipes for competitions. Now, do you test them on your customers before you compete with them, or do you only start working on the customers after it's won an award? Or
we give it to our regulars and say, let us know what you think of this. But
kind of get feedback for the event coming up.
Yeah, on our regulars, but okay. It's mostly after the after the pizza's won or placed very well that we'll launch it on them and say, here we go. We just took this award with it. They're intrigued by that. We have our wall of awards in the back.
Right.
That really gets people say, why do you have that on the wall?
Yeah. You think it's definitely easier if you could put award winning on your menu next to it? Oh. It's easier to coax them into trying it?
Definitely.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Is there one that you've put on here that is just never taken off, that you couldn't get people to, even just a small fan base?
Some of them, they kind of go like a roller coaster. They'll sell for a really long time, then they'll take a dive and not really sell for a little bit. But the ones we've put on the menu, we haven't had that issue yet.
Okay. All right. So aside from that, is there any other ways you kind of, I don't want to say trick them into eating it, but I think you pretty much covered the gamut on how you kind of train your customers. Are there certain people that come in and say, Brad, what's new today? And they just say, surprise me, because they trust you. You have people like that?
I think if we haven't gained their trust by now, we've won 7 national awards.
Yeah.
They're they'll trust us in that aspect, but sometimes, their palate will be different the different day.
Okay.
One day they'll want pepperoni, one day they'll want hibachi, and, the next time they'll want veggie. So it's really, they have put their trust in me and putting a pizza in front of them.
So now I did want to touch a little bit about competitions. You said you've won 7 national titles. Is competing important to a shop of any stature, mom and pop, chain, franchise?
I think it is. When the very first award we won was in Columbus. It was the old Napix. I think it's called the
Mid-America Restaurant Expo now.
Yeah. That was our first one.
That's a pizza pizzazz competition.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
We actually won. We were the first restaurant to win both. At that time, they had traditional and gourmet categories. Mm-hmm. We were the first place to win both titles in the same weekend.
Oh, wow.
And that really solidified us on the map of competitions and really bringing people up here. We were getting people to drive 4+ hours, from Athens, Ohio, to come try our stuff.
And that was, you said, your first competition ever?
Not my first ever. The first time we won.
The first time you won. Okay.
Yeah.
So the first time you guys won, you won twice.
Yes.
Almost. All right. And then, so that's a big draw for people in areas like this that hear it in the news coverage, just
right.
Within a 4-hour radius.
The media exposure. We got radio spots. We got television. Numerous newspaper write-ups, and it really just exposed us to a whole different market and boosted our sales. I think in the first 6 months we were up almost 30% just from those awards.
Wow, that's impressive. Aside from getting the publicity and things like that, are there any other benefits you see to somebody going to a competition?
It's networking. I've made lifelong friends going to competitions. I get to text these guys and bounce ideas off of them. I partnered with a friend, not with him, but he led me on to his franchising company, and we've set up and established our franchising on that. Answer questions, help me negotiate this lease. What should I do? How can I approach this? Just all the benefits. And That's what competitions do. It's not just a boost in sales, but you now have a network of people that you can go to, you can trust. These guys come in, they dine at our restaurant, I go dine at theirs. You know, it's really beneficial.
Okay. And you said franchising? Is that in the future for Sloopy's?
It is.
All right. Are you guys going to start local, or are you going to sell to whoever wants to get one?
We're going to do it strategically. We're going to start more local with our local cities and then hopefully expand a little bit further slowly. We're not going to try and bite off more than we can chew right away.
Right. You're going to have it all planned out for them. They can just open it and know what to do right away to make pies as good as you.
Yep. We put in the work. We're going to train them. They'll be able to use our name, our recipes, and, you know, provide a living for new people.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I know you said slowly, but we're down in Mississippi, so I'm hoping it's not too slow. So I don't know. Send me some information. I'll think about it. I won't think about it. I don't have that kind of money yet. I don't make Sloopy's money yet. So I wanted to jump back real quick about what you guys do here now. In Sloopy's, you guys you don't just do pizza, do you?
No.
All right, what else do you guys do? You guys got a full menu of foodstuffs?
We do have a full spectrum of stuff. So we are located in a small resort gated community here in Lakeside. There's a handful of eateries, and when we designed our menu, we designed it so that we could, you know, if a family comes on vacation, that they come and dine at our restaurant on multiple spots, just not pizza night. You know, we want them to come for pasta and salads. We offer barbecue, sandwiches, and we specialize in our pizzas, so, you know, hopefully they do come for that. But, you know, we want them to come back and get other aspects of our menu too.
Well, yeah, and if the family, they don't always agree on what they want to eat, so everybody can get what they need. Do you guys do a lot of locally sourced stuff here in this area? Is there a good season here for ingredients?
We do. There are a couple vineyards and orchards around here. We get a handful of our stuff when we can. Also, our vendor has a partnership program within a local 200 miles, I believe it is. So mostly when vegetables are in season, they are buying within 200 miles of where we are.
That's good too.
Yeah.
I mean, just kind of keep it as close to home as possible.
Right.
For freshness as well.
Yeah.
Not even just helping the local community. So, all right. So it sounds like Sloopy's is your one-stop shop if you want to come get something to eat and you're visiting Lakeside, Ohio on Lake Erie. Is there one final thing that you want to let people know about Sloopy's and what you guys do here?
You know, I do want to emphasize we are a one-stop shop. You know, we are open year-round. We are in a seasonal community. We offer delivery. We've got almost 100-seat dining room. We do catering. And, you know, we provide for the locals. We support our schools. We look forward to our next competitions. And hopefully we can earn another trip back to Italy.
Awesome. Well, we'd love to take you. We'd love to have you. It's just not the same without you, Brad. So where can they find you online? Facebook, websites, interwebs?
Our website is sloopyspizza.com. That's SLOOPYS, not to be confused with Sloppy's. We do get that a lot. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at Sloopy's Pizza. We're pretty active on there. We respond to everything, provide good content, and you know, little entertainment too.
Okay. I have one final question, I guess. Is there or was there ever a Sloopy?
No. You know, Sloopy's came from the song "Hang On, Sloopy."
Did it really?
Yeah.
I always kind of imagined that in my head. But okay, that was the ultimate reason. I'm like, wouldn't it be cool? But so that's just kind of where it came from.
We are kind of Buckeye themed. We got some Buckeye decor in here. The Ohio State band performs here every year, or the alumni band, one of the two. But we are, you know, Hang On Sloopy. That's where it came from.
Is Hang On Sloopy associated with Ohio State?
They do play the song all the time at their football games and stuff.
All right, that makes more sense. I was like, good for you. You guys got a band. All right, well, there you go. That's perfect. So, no, there was never a Sloopy, but it has just as good an origin story as you would want. Come check them out in Lakeside, Ohio, please. Ask for Bradley Corbin. Tell him I sent you. He might throw you out or he might give you a pizza. Depends on our previous conversation. So, Brad, thank you so much for sitting down with us. Thanks so much for your time. We'll see you guys next time in the Chef's Corner.
Thank you.